talk about breasts.
Let's talk about you and me.
Let's talk about all the good things
and all the bad things. Welcome to another episode of Boobtube. We're happy that you stuck around so long, and we hope that you stick around for even longer because we have a lot of breasts to talk about.
Yes,
okay? a lot of topics. So again, I'm your best friend Jaleesa. If you didn't know, this is my co-host
Chantel,
and we are here to bring you all sorts of greatness about breasts.
Of course, it's warming up outside, and the coats are coming off, and the breasts are coming out.
All the way out.
But now that the coat is going away, we want to know, are bras here or are they going to go away too?
That's a tough.
It's a tough one.
they might be going away. But, we're going to find out. We're going to go ahead and talk to the streets, our expert.
Yes.
We're going to talk to them. See what they have to say.
Why do you think bras are important? Or do you think they're important?
For back support.
Good answer. Great answer.
Why do you think bras are important?
Why they're important?
Yeah.
Well, honestly, I'm a free the nipple type person. But we just was going there. Mostly, but I feel like the women that do have larger endowments, it helps with their back support.
Okay.
Why
do you free the nipple?
Free the nipple?
Yeah, why?
It's a blessing. If you want to just be outside with your nipples out, hey, I'm not gonna fight you.
Okay.
It's gonna cause a couple wrecks along the way, but hey, I'm with it.
Why do you think it'll cause a wreck?
Because people nosy. I know I'm nosy. So if you walking down the street with just nipples, I'm telling you right now.
Just a shirt, no problem.
Let's be clear. People stop on the freeway to look at an accident and got nothing to do with it.
Right.
So if they see a pair of titties, I promise you.
Okay.
Would you go out in public without a bra?
Why do you think bras are important?
This ain't sad right here. So I said,
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So they are important for that reason.
What do you think would happen to the world if there were no more bras? Ooh, definitely saving friends.
Feel free to jump in.
Ooh, if there were no more bras, women would feel better, but back pain because they don't have the support. Bras are very
That could be a good thing and a tragic at the same time.
They had their pros and cons. Okay. What would be tragic?
Some people need that support.
Okay.
I imagine so. I don't know personally, but I would imagine so. I believe it changed a lot.
Did quarantine change anything about you?
I want to have more lounge, but I still also want to have something that was more than that's the only thing that kind of changed. I know a lot of women have gotten more comfortable with the sag, but I just have not reached that level of confidence.
Did quarantine change anything about you wearing bras or not wearing bras?
Absolutely. During the quarantine, I stopped wearing bras altogether. My boobs started to sag more than they already did. I found myself, if I did wear bras, except I wasn't going anywhere. So if I did wear bras, I got one of those little Walmart soft bras. Didn't support. I gained a lot of weight, so that added to, my cup size and my breast size. I feel like a lot of people struggle in that sense.
All right. So it sounds like women, depending on probably the larger sizes, are not going to go without a bra.
Not in public, at least.
Not in public, at least. So, yeah.
Right.
So, at least during quarantine, there was some braless activity going on.
Things changed in quarantine. Everything was up in the air for quarantine. And I don't blame them. You just around the house and stuff, you probably don't want a bra.
No. Freedom. Free the nip was happening all over.
Yes. I want to say, I don't know. I think I still wore bras, but maybe a little less. But I wasn't just like, ooh, I don't know what this feels like anymore.
I would do it if even with Zoom meetings, just because I felt like I needed to still do it. But
you felt like
for the most part, no. Especially if I'm in my pajamas all day, I did not put one on.
I think also because I was still working out and I was accustomed to like wearing a sports bra every day, that didn't change much.
Did you wear the sports bra all day or just
okay, just for working out for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, I do think there are times when we feel we are freer not to wear a bra, and quarantine definitely brought that about.
Yeah, it changed a lot of people and changed a lot of things about bras. And I remember even seeing a video about how they needed a what were those checks we got?
The stimulus.
The stimulus checks. They were like they needed a stimulus check because like women weren't wearing them anymore and stuff. So that was funny, but that was a whole thing during quarantine, and glad we were able to uplift each other via social media to talk about these things, because definitely wasn't a lot of uplifting of the breast going on during quarantine, of course.
Definitely, yep. And we're here in the summer time, so you're going to have the summer tops coming out right about now.
Yep.
And I'm wondering if there are certain tops that you or anyone would go without a bra for.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah. I think it depends on the size and how comfortable the woman feels with. I think women with smaller breasts definitely have the advantage
for sure
of wearing tops without bras. I think also if a larger woman does feel comfortable doing that, that's a prerogative. She can do that, but I do think this is easier for smaller women to do so.
Very easy for them to do it. For if you have a more fuller bust, then it's going to be more noticeable, and it's going to like alter the way your clothes look, your tops and your dresses look overall. So
yeah,
it hits a little differently when you got a lot going on upstairs, but it's still happening for sure.
Yes. Do you ever think it's too hot for a bra?
I mean, I guess I suppose so, but I mean, for me, I'm trying to think about when it's like really hot. I don't think I mind, because I guess if it's like really hot, I wouldn't want them like on my body like that. So the bra or sports bra, I wear my sports bra more in the summer for sure. So maybe it's not like that for me. I'm not like, oh, I'm so hot. Like, I want to take my bra off, maybe some clothes.
Yeah, I never thought about it. I'm like, it's part of it's part of having clothes on for me,
Yeah.
Part of what you wear. I never think it would be too hot.
But I can't think about like airing them out. Like maybe you just want to air them out a little bit. But if it's like really hot, it's probably best to wear a bra so it's not just causing all this sweat and stuff right here.
Yeah.
But for sure, I would like to air them out sometime. Like,
and when you say air them out, what are you
just give them some air?
Take the bra off.
Yeah.
Okay.
You come home, and especially if you worn a bra all day.
Well, that happens like every day.
Yeah, that's a good feeling. But I mean, I guess maybe it can hit a little different when it's hot outside a little bit.
Especially if you sweating, I can definitely see. Yeah, you definitely coming out of it because you don't want to be in a wet sweaty bra. So I
gotta go straight to the shower, like just rinse this sweat off my body. I sweat horribly too.
All right, so I have seen where I thought women were braless, but I take a closer look and I see the bra line, so they're not. So I just realized that they're not wearing a good bra.
Like they might as well be braless from the lack of support.
Because the bra is just like covering them up. It's not giving them any support whatsoever.
And that's definitely a thing, unfortunately. But it is.
Just to say you got on the bra. I guess that could be like, and I guess it's what society might want you to have on, even though it ain't doing much for you.
I mean, I guess maybe that keeps them from just kind of maybe take some of the weight off their shoulders or eliminate some of the sweat or something, or if you just want them separate,
I guess.
Because skin touching can be hot.
It can be. So yeah, that does make a barrier for them.
So I mean, I'm just guessing. I'm not positive. Okay. I'm just guessing. I don't ever want to look like that with a bra on.
No.
So hopefully I never have to get there and we don't have to worry about that. Yeah. Did you, speaking of going braless, that reminded me, Did you know that there's like a whole TikTok challenge about going braless?
Tell me.
Like if you just type in TikTok challenge or no, I mean braless challenge and just scroll through, there's a whole thing about women going braless, but like they do little dances.
They dancing without no bra?
Yeah, they do a little like
so that's cute. The challenge to dance without a bra?
Cause I think like some people were saying like I went like a couple of days without one and then a couple of days turning into weeks and now I just haven't worn one a year.
Like quarantine?
Yeah. But then some of the other people are really just like, look at me, no bra, or like, oh, somebody wanted me to be ashamed for not having on a bra, but here I am, or something like. And then some were like outrageous because it's like, okay, you have some really big breasts. I think they were implants at that, and then it was just like no bra, but you're wearing like a portion of a tank top with like everything hanging out on the side.
That's
and that's
just attention seeking right there. That's just taking it a bit too far because there's a difference in women being covered up, but people don't have to see everything.
They don't. But when there's a trend, there's someone that's gonna take it far.
They're looking for attention. Yeah.
Most of them were kind of small, but some of them were like full busted and still like, okay,
were they perky? Okay, it's good. Good, because I don't want to. I think that's the thing too. Is that I think in order to feel like you can go braless, you still gotta be perky,
right,
or be small. But if they hanging, they'll hang.
If it's in a cute top or something, like cool. I think we touched on this in a previous episode. So like, if it's a cute top or dress where it's fitted to where you could wear a bra, I mean, not wear a bra, then cool. But like, if it's just something where you're just hanging out, I mean, you know what? It's cool either way. Anyway, anyone decides to do it because it's their bodies and their choices.
Would you ever go braless?
No, not unless it was like a certain top or dress that could like where I still had support, or maybe if I needed the little tape or something. But
I recently gone out in public without a bra, but I had on like 2 sweatshirts.
Yeah, no, because remember I had mentioned I checked the mail in a hoodie.
Oh, yeah.
But
just if anything had changed since then.
And it was dark.
Then if anything had changed since then.
No. I'm still trying to save the world from myself. Like I'm not trying to shut things down by going out here with no bra on.
I will say for me to still wear 2 sweatshirts that you still feel self-conscious about it. But I was going in I went to the grocery store to do a quick pickup, and I was like, I'm not putting on a bra for this right now. So I just put on an extra sweatshirt so you really couldn't tell.
I'll make myself like put on a bra. I have to. Even if it's just like a lounge bra or like the kind of like not sports bra, but just like a wireless bra that I could wear. It's still gonna be my cup size for sure for me. I don't play those types of games. I can't. And then can't be out in public and someone be like, oh, she own uplifting? Like, what she got going on? Like,
you can't do that.
I got a brand
represent well.
So I can't go out like that.
Yeah.
Catch me around the house though. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's your domain. You can do what you want to do there.
Absolutely. If I can't do braless at home, then something is wrong.
Something is very wrong.
Yeah. And I know a lot of those TikTok videos show like, oh, running up and down the stairs without a bra.
Ain't gonna happen.
I mean, you gotta go up and down. Running, maybe not so much, but yeah.
It's gonna be some holding.
From a young age, when I was young, my brothers made fun of me. Once if you read it, I was like going down the stairs. I was like, yeah. Like they would make fun of my shirt. I'm like, can't win. So yeah, it's a thing for sure. I'm not making a TikTok about it though. Most of them were kind of young though. I would say that.
I guess I was gonna ask like if there were any older women like 30 plus probably trying to go braless.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Or at least they look that old.
Okay.
So I would say yes.
I mean, it's a real thing. I think to each their own, and if you feel empowered, and more power to you.
Yeah. All right. So speaking of ties, we recently discussed coordinating your tops with your bras, making sure, you know, if you need to, you have on a strapless, a plunge, a multi-way bra, etc. So today we found a solution to all your booby problems if you want to go outside braless, but you know, you haven't been able to quite figure that part out. So we have a special guest here, well, that we spoke to for you guys today that is going to give you some information on that. So let's see what our guest has to say.
Right. Today we have a special guest joining us all the way from Pittsburgh. I know this person, this wonderful woman. We've been collaborating on a few things over the past year or so. So it's great to have her here with us on Boobtube to talk about bra versus bra free. Karen, welcome to Boobtube. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here and to talk about this topic.
Yes, well, thank you for agreeing to be with us and to just dive into this topic, because I don't know about a lot of people, but it's definitely a question that's on our minds. So we'll go ahead and kick it off. So you are the founder of Embrago. Can you tell us what made you start Embrago?
Absolutely. So it basically, it comes down to the topic we're talking about, like bra or bra free. And I felt like as a full-busted woman, you know, as full-busted women, we don't have any other options. It's like bra or bra free, but why isn't there anything in between? So what started it all for me was I wanted something that I could just lounge around on Saturday mornings, but still feel dressed in. It all started about 10 years ago. My kids were younger and we had friends visiting for the weekend, and I like to bake and cook, and I was looking forward to making breakfast in the morning. And I realized, you know, we all got up Saturday morning and I realized I can't stay in my pajamas, you know, like I can't just wear a robe. I have to put on a bra because it would have been really socially awkward in mixed company to, you know, have that much movement going on. So, and it really bothered me because I just thought, this isn't fair. You know, it felt unfair. It felt like I had to put on like the whole work day, kind of like strap on the harness, you know, and everyone else could just kind of, you know, be in that kind of Saturday morning mode. So that's when I first got the idea for creating something that was supportive, but also really comfortable. And at first I figured it probably existed and I just didn't know about it. So I did a lot of searching. I searched, you know, I did all the Google searches. I searched all the stores. I talked to everybody. I tried everything. And, you know, literally for years, and every 6 months I would do like another brand new search. And I tried the support camis. I tried, you know, the bralettes. They didn't call them that back then, but you know, every kind of wireless comfort leisure bra option there was. And I wasn't satisfied with anything, because if it was comfortable, it didn't give you any kind of shape or support at all. And if it gave you shape or support, it was usually really uncomfortable. And it either had like super tight straps that dug in, or that really tight band around your chest. So finally, it was kind of a couple of things converged. I was getting frustrated and thinking, maybe I should just try and make this myself. I know a little bit about sewing. I used to sew for my kids and for myself. And then I found out about a sewing studio that was opening up near me. And I approached the owner, who had worked in the fashion industry in New York. And I asked her whether she could design this. And she said, well, no, I don't do that, but I will coach you and help you design it. And basically, so that's what I did. I started working with her. And, you know, my number one priority was just to get rid of that band, that tight band around the chest. And so we just worked at that for more than a year. And, you know, and finally we did it. We solved it. We created something that felt like a pair of sweatpants, but, you know, looked like I was fully dressed. So that's what I was after.
So that's very interesting how you got into it, and especially like not having the background in
fashion designer making these types of tops and dresses. So I wanted to ask you, how do you go about designing these things?
That's a great question. And that was the question on my mind. Like, how do I do this? Because I kept thinking, well, if, why hasn't anyone done this before? It must be possible, right? But it wasn't easy. But because I knew that I did not want a horizontal band around my ribs. So I started with just the assumption that I wasn't going to do that. So I looked at what else was out there. And of course, there's corsets, right? Not that I didn't want a corset, something that would have bones and wires and be super tight. But that idea of vertical seams, right? And the support kind of coming from your whole torso instead of just on a singular, kind of cutting band that went horizontal, it made a lot more sense to me to start with that vertical seaming and then just kind of like, embrace the curves. That was my idea. It's like there should be something that just kind of holds you, but it doesn't hurt you, So that's where I started, was just with that idea of the vertical seams. And then kind of figuring out the bust support part was a very long process because, as you can imagine, right? Because there's a lot of volume. And when I started this, I was over 40. And, as you get older, the composition of the tissue changes and it just kind of needs more of an embrace. But again, I was working with someone who was an expert in pattern fitting and, curved seaming and, all of that. So, we started with a sort of basic cup type construction, but then we added a few things to increase the support and the shape, because after the idea of getting rid of the band, the other thing that was really important to me was that the profile had to be like, bless you, I wanted it to be like up, in, and forward, like I didn't want to be smushed out sideways, didn't want the uniboob, I wanted like a really pleasing sort of profile to the boob, So that took a while between creating the cup shape and then adding the straps. That's kind of a distinctive feature. These cross straps, I'm wearing them here. And so these are kind of like floating, they float above the breast, but they're attached in on the garment. So they provide like an anchor and a foundation and another sort of direction of lift and hold. And then they also allow for your changing body, because as we know, like your boobs change every day, right? It's not like they're the exact same size every day. So this also is very forgiving, so that, if you're feeling sort of swollen or bloated, the straps just kind of float to rest, in a natural place, so that you don't have any of that puffy spill out or, that what it looks like when your bra doesn't fit.
Yeah. All right, good. It sounds like you put a lot of work and time into making that. So who is your ideal woman, and who do you have in mind when you're designing this?
So I guess you could say anyone who feels like they have to wear a bra, any woman who feels like I can't leave the house without a bra, like that's who this is for. And that can be, I've learned over the years that I've been working on this, when I started it, I assumed that was going to be a full cup, like and I designed this for double D to L cup sizes. But I've also learned that it actually works on a lot of different body types, because just kind of depending on your body composition and shape, sometimes women who identify as a smaller cup size actually, when you look at how the tissue kind of distributes on their body, they can benefit from this too. And the nice thing about it is that it kind of gently shapes you, you know, but it's not constrictive at all. It's very comfortable. So I used to say this is for double D to L cup sizes. And now, you know, sometimes I've even had women who consider themselves Bs, but they wear it because they just have more weight in certain areas and it works for them.
Okay.
Okay. So, I mean, one of the things we wanted to talk about was how the support is provided in your apparel, and you did touch on that some. And I did want to add that it made sense that you started with the vertical seams because that's how a lot of bras are designed themselves. You know, that vertical seam from like here up is very important for that support and uplift. So that made perfect sense for you to focus on vertical seams. So it's between that and then the two straps that go here that you said are attached inside of the garment as well. Those are the primary support components for your clothing.
They are definitely key components. It's actually, it's very technical, and there are more than 20 seams, and it's really about how those seams work together to create the support, because I didn't want any one component of it to be doing all the work, because that's what makes things uncomfortable, right? If you end up with straps holding the weight, then they really hurt. If you end up with, you know, wires underneath, that really hurts. So the fabric is a big part of it too. I spent a lot of that year and more just trying to source the right fabric, because it needed to be a certain weight. Like it couldn't be too lightweight or too stretchy, because then it just wouldn't hold. But comfort was number one. So I really wanted to use cotton, and that's what this is basically. It's a premium organic heavyweight cotton jersey. So it has stretch, 4-way stretch, and even the pattern pieces are, you know, the way they're arranged and cut so that the stretch goes in the right way. Like I designed it so that it stretches more around your torso. So like, you know, around your stomach and stuff. So it's not too tight or squeezy, but it stretches less up and down so that it actually lifts the boobs up. So anyway, there's I'll show you a little bit on screen if you want. So the straps aren't just here. They actually come all the way around, and they cross in the front, and they come around to the side. And there's these little panels here. This is like a smart textile panel. So there's extra security and hold at the really key points, like in here, right, where there's a lot of tension on the clothes, and where you want that separation. And then around the side panels here, because the bigger you get, and I'm a K or an L cup size, and you know, when you have that much volume, if you're lifting up, the natural tendency is that it goes to the outside. And I wanted, you know, I didn't want things spilling to the side. So these panels hold it in on the side and kind of push things forward so that you have a nice, you know, profile from the side.
Well, they look great.
Thanks.
I think, yeah, like I can see the support, and it doesn't look like, oh, she's wearing some top without a bra or anything. Like their support there is not falling into the armpits, like you said. They're forward, and then even the straps even have like a fashion forward kick to it too. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You can play with these. You can wear them down so that it just looks like, you know, this just looks like a regular tank top. But you can, you know, you can make this more dramatic. You can add, you know, accessories and jewelry and stuff. And then the shoulder straps, I should point out too, these are, you can see they're wide, right? Which that kind of aesthetically helps balance out, you know, the look of the larger breasts. And then it's also, it spreads any weight that is held by the straps is kind of spread out, and it's offset the seams. We actually designed the seams so they wouldn't sit right on top of your shoulder. They sit a little behind so that it takes the weight off of your shoulder. So everything about this is designed for the woman who has a lot of weight to up front, you know, who wants to look good and who wants to be comfortable. But there are also these really practical issues we have to address.
That weight thing up top is a real thing. I mean, I'm not as large as both of you, I will admit that, but I was looking online at some bra-free clothing, and then some of the comments I saw was like, oh, this does not work. They are sagging to my knees, like they're sitting in my lap still. So it's great that you can still see that uplift in your product, Karen, because it shows that it does provide some support. So that's good.
Yeah, and people don't notice. Like, nobody would know that you're not wearing a bra. You look, you know, you can wear this on its own. You can wear it under things, and it looks like I'm wearing a bra because it does support me the same way an underwear bra would.
Yeah. So if that's the case, go ahead.
So I was just gonna ask, like, what's the percentage of the time that you do go braless because you're wearing Embrago?
Oh my gosh, it is so great to know that I have it. And you know, most days that I'm working from home, that's what I wear, because why would you constrict yourself, right? There's not only is it uncomfortable, but it interferes with, you know, your digestion. It's uncomfortable when you're sitting, you know, for a long period of time, or you're on your couch or whatever. So, you know, I wear it all the time when I'm working from home. I also wear it when I go exercise. I wear it to the gym, to do Pilates, to do anything that's low impact. It's not a sports bra. It's not designed for high impact, but anything that you could wear a normal bra for. And it's great for anything, you know, like yoga, dance, ballet, anything that's kind of bendy, you know, and you need to be able to move your arms and shoulders freely. It's great for that. I wear it out in the garden. So I wear it a lot.
Put it to use.
I do. And I also made it to be that practical. It's machine washable so that, you know, you can wear it whenever, wherever, and then just throw it in the wash. If you get really sweaty or dirty or whatever, it's easy to wash, and it's not like bras that can be really high maintenance.
Okay. So you designed this because you found that there was a need for you personally. Why do you think it's important to have bra-free options?
Oh, that's such a great question. Thank you for asking that, because this gets to the part that I'm really passionate about, and the reason I have kept at this for 10 years, which is the more I learned about the intimates category of fashion and fashion in general, the more I realized that, you know, fuller bust women are just so invisible and so underserved in terms of clothing in general. Now, you know, in bras, like, there are full bust, full cup bras that you can find, but then you can't find clothes to wear, though, because most clothes are still cut so small. You know, they're cut for a much smaller cup size in the bust. So I started to get really angry about the fact that there was nothing out there, because it's not like this is a fringe or a niche. You know, the average bust size in America now, I think, is a double D. So it's really most women. And, you know, the fact that everything gets turned into, like, there's something wrong with you, you're too big, you're too heavy, because your boobs don't fit into the clothes that are in the stores. And I feel like it's really hard on women's self-esteem. And, you know, we tend to internalize those things and think, you know, we're the problem. And the reality is there's just not much imagination, you know, in what's being offered to us. And, you know, part of it may also be the profit question. You know, some companies may not see enough profit in it because it's harder to design for big curves. You know, you can't use cheap fabric. You can't cut corners. You have to, you know, you have to design things to be very, you know, substantial and to hold up under weight and strain on the seams and stuff. So that's harder. It's more expensive. You have to use better materials. And it's harder to find the skill set to do the manufacturing. So yeah,
It seems like you found a nice middle. I think you mentioned that in the beginning because earlier we were discussing bra free, but not having this in mind where you just let it all hang out. And so, we talk about being subconscious about that. So this is a way to, I guess, ease into that with good taste and look good in it as well. So you still can
and to be comfortable. I felt like we deserve to be comfortable too. Why can't we be comfortable and still look dressed? I think we deserve that option.
We do. What would you say, like, what is the response that you get, especially when talking to your ideal customer, that you do have a bra-free option?
Well, the first response is usually a lot of skepticism because, for so long we've been promised comfort and support by different companies and different types of garments, and they just don't deliver on that promise, when they just don't work when you're really big. So when I'm talking to women who are, let's say like me, like a K or an L cup, right? First of all, they don't believe it, because especially the older they are and the longer they've had to wear a bra, the less likely they are to believe that it's possible to look supported without one and to still be comfortable. But if I'm in person with them, or if they can see me and they see it on me, that gets their attention. And then, when I went to the lingerie show, it was so funny because a lot of the women who own bra shops are full busted. And so, we're on the floor with all these like very thin models wearing all kinds of beautiful lingerie. And I was wearing this myself. And a lot of the owners would, when I told them, I'm wearing it, this is the garment, they'd look at me all skeptical, and they'd just like start touching me because they wouldn't believe it was really me. They'd be like, you're not really that big, or that's not really you. And they'd feel it and everything. And then they'd be like, huh. Yeah, then they'd get really intrigued. And then, so once you can kind of convince somebody like, yeah, this is a real thing, it's the real deal, and they try it on, it's usually pretty transformative. Again, especially, especially the larger we are, because again, there's women who identify as full cup, but they're still fairly small framed. And so just the total mass of what they're trying to support is not as much as when you really have a much bigger chest. So, the women who are most transformed by it are the ones who are the largest chested, because if you're smaller, you can get away with a lot of the other kind of leisure bra options. But when the larger you get, the more you feel the discomfort from those different types of alternatives. And so when they put this on and they realize like, wow, nothing is poking me, nothing hurts, and I look good, it's quite a moment. It actually, I wrote about it on my blog, actually, about the lingerie show and my experience there. And it kind of brought tears to my eyes to see some of these women who had kind of, like there were a lot of owners who were maybe like in their 60s, and they were very big. You could tell they've been full busted all their lives. And then, when you're 60, a lot of times you put on a few pounds and your body shape changes. And you could tell at the show that they didn't really put themselves in the category of the lingerie buyer. A lot of times, like they were buying things to put on the racks in their store to be purchased by women who looked a lot different from them. And so when they put this on and saw how good they looked, like there was such a change in their face. Like they were you could tell they were just like, wow, I feel pretty. I feel like I look nice, which is such an unfamiliar feeling when you're this big and, what you usually see when you're not wearing a bra, so that was a good feeling.
Good. All right. So you've all heard it here first or second or three times. I don't know. But there are options out there. You know, we don't have to let them all hang out. There are options if you wanted to go bra free and look elegant, go on a date and be bra free. If you have guests over, you want to go downstairs or into the kitchen, you can do that.
I mean,
That's great.
we can sleep in it. I have a lot of customers who do sleep in it because, again, like that can be a hard thing when you're really big. It can be uncomfortable to not wear anything. So, you know, it's comfy enough to sleep in, and then, you know, you roll out of bed, you're ready for the day.
I dare ask, are you any closer to going completely braless?
like wearing off of them forever. I need more colors in my rotation, and then I'll be there.
Okay.
I feel like that, I mean, you mentioned having it for sleeping, but as you were talking about basically it's all purposeness, I was thinking of how that would be a good tank for traveling too.
I wear mine
especially
for
like for
traveling.
long.
It absolutely is. It's so comfortable if you have to sit for a long period of time in a car or a plane. There's no wires, so it doesn't set off the scanners at the airport, which, you know, that's always was an issue for me because I wore underwire bras all the time. So yeah, and it's great. And then you can look put together, you know, if you have a really long flight or something, or you have a meeting right when you get off the plane, you look put together and ready to go.
Good. Are there any new looks that you are in the process of designing or want to put out in the future that you don't already have out?
That's another great question. So the basic design started as, actually, it started as a top. Obviously, we worked on that first, but I had always had in mind to do a dress too, you know, because I like wearing nightgowns, and I kind of had the idea of a nightgown in mind, right? Like something that you could just kind of lounge around in and be really comfortable. So from the start, I had, you know, both the top and then a dress version. And then I had the chance to work with this great local micro factory, a women-owned micro factory in town. That's who produced my original designs. And the owner there is a really talented, all around talented, both in terms of like being a technical sewer and also kind of having some great design ideas. So I worked with her to come up with some more kind of fun and flirty designs. And the shorter versions, we have a bodycon dress and a fit and flare dress, and a really cool bolero jacket that you can wear over, because a lot of women want their arms covered up. And then a skirt also that you can tie on over the dresses. So I've been experimenting, I guess is what I could say. And my hope is to, you know, I want to add a top with sleeves. I want to add some colors. It's tough because I'm so small right now as a company and still producing small batch. And the fabric that I use, I mentioned earlier, it's this very specialized fabric. It only comes in black and like a white natural color. And to do a custom dye, you have to purchase at least 600 meters, which is, you know, more than I'm able to do at this point. So it's a slow, I can't get there fast, but that's my goal. And my vision is ultimately to have, you know, a full array of options and colors and styles, so that you could have a complete wardrobe that allowed you to go bra free.
Good. All right. Well, is there anything else you would like to share for our viewers?
Oh gosh, I just my thanks. Thanks so much for, you know, letting me come on today and talk about this. I think one of the toughest things for me is to truly explain to people how different this is as an option. It really is like nothing else you've tried. And so please give it a try if you think this might be for you, because it absolutely is transformative. And it is for me. You know, I'm not just the founder, I'm the customer, right? So I hope you will be open to the idea and tell people about it, and kind of stand with me in saying that, full-busted women deserve better options.
Well said. And I will say I do have an Embrago tank that I do use for travel. So it does make traveling a little bit more comfortable. So yay. All right. Where can folks find you?
Okay, so the website is embrago.com. So it's EMBRA, like bra, GO.com. You always have to watch your spell checker because sometimes it tries to flip it and turn it into embargo, but it's Embrago. So embrago.com is the website, and socials are at Embrago Clothing on Instagram and Facebook, and I'm also on LinkedIn and YouTube.
I like the name, by the way.
Thank you. Oh, and that is one thing I forgot to mention is where that name came from.
Please.
The first part of it is from the word embrace, because as I mentioned before, that was the feeling I wanted. Something that felt like a hug, like a good firm hug that didn't squeeze you too hard, So embrace is the first part, and then the second part is from the word imago, which is actually the term for a fully mature butterfly. And I thought, I really liked the idea of sort of the freedom and lightness of the butterfly, but also the maturity factor, because it's like sort of the grown-up woman, So I put those together, and that's Embrago.
That's beautiful.
That's cool. I was thinking of like embargo and I don't know.
I was thinking of embracing of letting the bra go.
There's that too, right? Or like
am I still saying embargo? I thought it came from embargo. Now I'm saying it so much I don't know which one I said. But
the funny thing
is, I thought it came from embargo.
You could think of it that way, like you're putting the embargo on the bras, I guess. The cool thing is that the word embrago, I think, is also a Spanish verb or a Spanish word that means like to put it in gear, like the clutch of a car. And I kind of like that idea of action too,
Made with purpose, definitely.
Exactly.
Love it. Jaleesa, do you have anything else?
No, I asked all my questions, and I definitely got a lot of good information here today. So I'm appreciative of that. And you thanked us, but I'm thanking you for joining us today for us talking about going braless, because like you said, a lot of women don't know that they even have this option, especially ones who have more fuller busts. So that's very good. And I'm definitely excited to share this with our viewers and followers so that they do know that these options do exist.
Thank you. And thank you so much for doing this podcast, because like you said in your intro, it's, there's a lot of talk about boobs out there, but not just sort of about normal life managing them. Right? So I appreciate what you're doing.
Yes. Definitely a lot to be said about breasts.
Yes, a whole lot. Well, thank you again, Karen. And this has been very informative and helpful. And we hope everyone enjoyed that and learned about your story. It's such a beautiful story, too. So go check Karen out, Embrago.com and Embrago Clothing on the socials.
Thank you so much.
Well, we enjoyed having Karen with us, and we hope that you enjoyed her too. Be sure to check out Embrago for your braless needs, whether that's you wanted to go braless or you want to wear something with straps to keep up with the summer trends. Be sure to check her out. Also, tune in next Tuesday as we bring the heat with the men. You want to see that one. All right, peace out.